D-Day, June 6th, 1944. At dawn the next day, the MO sent me off with a dispatch rider to compile a roll of the dead and wounded. We checked not only the main RAMC clearing stations, but also many other units in the beachhead. We looked moreover in fields, houses, gardens and ditches. The list was about 180, and I could not include those lost at sea or evacuated by the Navy. During this search, we had a chance to see the ground covered by the battalion the previous day. It seemed a long way from Austerlitz or Aramash, broken terrain and plenty of silenced German posts. I wondered on their courage and endurance. By then, we knew that the CO had been twice wounded on the beach, the second in command killed, and the two leading companies decimated on the beach. A flail tank and some others had saved the day, clearing the mines and giving cover to the infantry. All were knocked out. This gave the follow-up companies to slip ashore covered by the hulls and various other battalion to devise a new plan, fresh armour coming ashore, using their radios to get fire support from the Navy. The cost had been high, perhaps not by World War I standards, although these were almost as bad in the subsequent fighting. 100+ casualties, often in one day's fighting. Our division, the 50th, were the only division to capture all of their objectives on D-Day. The site for the Mulberry Bay was secure, Bayeux taken, and the road towards the US Army out by our troops, denying it to the enemy. We knew nothing about Mulberry End, and I saw it for the first time 40 years later. It was to become the main supply port for the Allied armies, particularly when the American harbour was destroyed in a storm, which did more damage to shipping than the Germans. We got back about noon from our casualty search. The battalion was packing for a move. The depleted unit marched inland and through the town of Bayeux. Those with some memory of history might have time to reflect that this lovely old town was undamaged, and its glorious tapestry showed a wonderful story of an invasion going in the other direction. Somewhere the other side of Bayeux, we dug in for the night. We little knew we would stay in the line for 8 weeks. A fortunate attack of malaria took me away for a couple of weeks and probably saved my life. When I got back, the battalion was preparing for what was to be a dash through northern France and Belgium as the supporting infantry to the armed divisions. Few were left in the rifle companies of those who had landed on D-Day. I returned for the 40th anniversary of the landing. Standing on the cliff top, watching the sea stained red and purple, I asked the inevitable question of the survivor. Why was I spared? Remembering the bravery of those lying in the cemeteries or those mutilated in body or in mind. I knew no human being could ever answer that question, and that one must try to do the best with their own life, having been saved by a mysterious providence.